Hey guys, Josh here from CrossFit Metro East. Hey, just getting into some tips on how to improve your snatch. Now, there's a number of things out there. We're not going to get super complex with anything today, but we're just going to work on just a few things and give you a couple of skills and drills to work on your own to be able to just implement and hopefully get a little bit more consistent with that snatch and a little bit better technique. So the first thing we're going to talk about is finishing your pull or initiating that pull with your shrug and your high pull, okay? So a lot of folks, we always, as coaches, we're always barking at you, hey, finish the pull, finish the pull. The problem is if you don't know how to do that, and you don't know what we're talking about, then we're just barking commands at you and not really getting you on the right path. So a couple of things that we talk about with the snatch, okay? And we're going to move the camera a little bit. I'm on my own today, so I'm just kind of operating everything, so stay with me here. So the biggest thing that we're talking about in initiating the pull is, or initiating the shrug and the high pull, is making sure that when we come from that, once we stand up with the bar and we get into that hip extension, that we shrug and then high pull and finish bringing those elbows high up before we drop under the bar, okay? So we have some tendencies for most folks when they come out with the bar is they'll come up and go into a straight arm shrug to where they shrug but never high pull, so the bar travels away from the body and then they fall under it this way, okay? The other aspect is where no one shrugs or high pulls and they just kind of drop themselves under the bar and kind of punch out as they're coming under the bar, okay? So either way, that bar is not going to be in the right position overhead once we get there, and we're going to be inconsistent with where that bar lands if we're not initiating from a shrug, high pull progression, and then punching ourselves under the bar, okay? So one thing that we can work on with folks is what we call a tall snatch or a high snatch. You can also do it with your cleans. Sometimes we'll call it a drop snatch, to where we're initiating with a shrug and then we're just dropping under the bar. Now we will come up on our toes here. I know you can't see my toes in the camera, but I am going to come up with my toes, but I'm not going to lean forward at all. So there's not going to be any hip flexion and extension here. It's all going to be from the shrug and drop under the bar. Shrug and drop. So it's just one drill that you can do in your warm-ups that will help to get you to initiate the shrug and the high pull. You notice on that second rep, like even I fell over a little bit, your balance is going to be a little bit different because you're not getting that hip extension or hip flexion into hip extension. It's all from the top, drop, shrug and drop under the bar, okay? So just one way to help you initiate shrug, high pull, okay? And stay away from the mummy snatch where the bar is going to travel out from the body, okay? And allow you to get into that high pull punch position, okay? The second thing that we're going to talk about is proper external rotation of the shoulder, okay? So we're not going to get too crazy with you on body mechanics here, but if I have my shoulder overhead, if I rotate my palms down, this is what we call internal rotation of the shoulder. This is where you'd see somebody overhead like this and their arms are bent and their arms are way back here, okay? So we'll try to do that for you where I'm here and my elbows are down towards the ground and I'm like this. This is what we call internal rotation of the shoulder, okay? External rotation is a nice open hand up towards the ceiling. My armpit is facing forward. Okay, this allows the shoulder to be stabilized on the scap, okay? So the shoulder itself, the shoulder joint is built for mobility. So it's going to move all around. That's why we can do big arm circles and back and forth, okay? But the shoulder blade, the scap, tying that thing down onto the rib cage and into the spine, that's what helps stabilize the shoulder, okay? Well, to be stable, we need to be in an externally rotated position, okay? So when we grab that barbell, we want to think about snapping that bar in half so my armpits are facing forward, not down towards the ground, and then catching the snatch in that position. So as I'm down here, I'm in a stable position on the bar, not internally rotated, but snapping the bar in half. So one way you can go about doing that and working on that external rotation, okay, is doing that simple bowler stretch with the band, or even standing with that bar overhead and working, holding that position, okay? And you can even hold in the bottom position of the squat, holding that externally rotated shoulder position. You could start with a PVC pipe, okay? But if I cannot physically externally rotate my shoulders and hold that bar overhead, that means as soon as I rotate my shoulders in, that bar is going to be traveling in front of my body, okay? Which is not going to be ideal to catch the snatch. That's why you'll see a lot of folks stumbling forward, okay? Third thing here is what we call the hook grip, okay? So our rule in our gym is, hey, you don't have to do the hook grip. We just recommend it. It doesn't feel good. You get some marks on your thumbs, if you can see those little guys there. My thumbs are not in the greatest shape, and that's typically from holding onto the bar. But essentially when we grab the barbell, we're going to actually tuck our thumb underneath our top two fingers, okay? And to do that, what that's going to do is help lock the bar in just a little bit better, okay? So, when I grab the bar, it's going to look something like this. So I'm going to grab from the other side so you can see where that's at. You can see my thumbs through it. So when I grab at the snatch, I'm tucking that thumb underneath, okay? I can do that as well in the clean grip. Tuck that thumb underneath, okay? That's going to help lock in the bar. It's a lot easier to finish the shrug, finish the high pull when I don't have to worry about losing the bar in my grip, okay? So think about that. So number one, okay, is our finishing the shrug and the high pull, initiating that pull under the bar, not getting into the mummy snatch, okay? Number two, proper external rotation of the shoulder. So when I catch the bar, the inside of my elbow is up towards the ceiling, my armpit is showing in front, okay? Number three is utilizing that hook grip, okay? The rule on the hook grip is you got to get used to it, okay? It's not going to feel that great from the beginning, but over time, you'll kind of develop the right calluses in the right place to help that feel a little bit better for you. So, again, 3 tips on the snatch. Check back with us. We'll be continuing some of this stuff. Good luck to you, and let us know if you have any questions. Post to the comments on Facebook for us. Like us on Facebook. Always open to more insight. Let us know what you want to hear about next. Thanks again, guys.